I was raised in a Presbyterian household with Christian values. I remember my mom repeatedly telling me to turn the other cheek dozens of times growing up. Growing up with two brothers, though, and being a middle child, this phrase was not often heeded. I went to Sunday school, and I went to youth group activities, too. As I got older, though, I began to have issues. I felt like I didn't quite fit in. Some part of me always felt like I didn't belong in the crowd of my happy, God-praising peers, as if I was doing something wrong. Another part of me grew resentful towards the other teenagers at the church who seemed to get along so well. It didn't really make sense that I couldn't feel that way. It all left me feeling very unhappy. I slowly stopped attending and resigned myself to becoming an indoor Christian. I would own up to being a Christian, but I didn't do much to follow through or commit to my faith. In reality, I know now that I really wasn't being a true Christian at all. This changed, though, during my college years. New problems arose, and I had new questions about God, science, and faith, and I was afraid to ask them. I was afraid to see the answer. During a few stressful experiences in college, my mom finally suggested I see a counselor for guidance. After a few urgings, I went to see one of my mom's pastors for a few sessions. He listened to me speak and let me voice my questions through our several sessions together. At the end of the last session, though, he simply handed me a book, More Than a Carpenter by Josh McDowell. In a nutshell, he challenged me to take the time and find the answers to my questions. He told me that he could tell me the answers himself, but it really wouldn't satisfy me until I saw the truth. I finished the book with a refreshed feeling, and it was wonderful. I saw my true need for Christ that night and repented of my sin and asked for forgiveness right there in my bedroom chair, and I felt that void inside of me fill again. I reached out for a suggestion for another book. One more turned into 2, into 5, 10, and now, 9 years later, several dozen. From Geisler to Lewis, I read and continue to read them all as a way of feeding my faith, strengthening my grip on truth, and helping me to trust Christ more and more. I'm thankful for what Jesus done for me on the cross and for the continued grace I receive through him every day of my life. I'm relieved and thrilled to say that I'm no longer an indoor Christian. Today I'm being baptized to publicly identify with Jesus.